afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. My name is Anvika, and today I want to talk about how we can all lay the foundation with knowledge matters. Through interactive simulations and real-world decision-making, Knowledge Matters gives students the chance to experience business in a way that goes far beyond the classroom. Programs like these do more than teach concepts. They give students the confidence to apply them, take risks, and think like future leaders in the business world. Again, my name is Anvika, and I'm currently a sophomore at Tomball Memorial High School and an active member of DECA. I'm a two-time state qualifier and serve as Vice President of Public Relations and Communications for my chapter. Beyond DECA, I'm also the CEO and founder of a financial literacy app called Invest Ed that I have been developing. My experience with Knowledge Matters played a major role in inspiring this venture because it showed me that learning finance is most impactful when it's hands-on. One of the most impactful ways students can engage with Knowledge Matters is through the virtual business challenges. The virtual business challenges allow students to step into the role of a business decision maker, where every choice has a measurable outcome. Participants can choose from several different challenge areas, each focusing on a unique aspect of business. These 9 virtual business simulations include fashion, hotel, sports and entertainment, restaurant, entrepreneurship, management, accounting, retailing, and my favorite, personal finance. Each simulation requires students to analyze data, make strategic decisions, and adjust their approach based on results. And make strategic decisions and adjust their approach based on results, not just concepts, creating an experience that mirrors real-world business environments, full of volatility, suspense, and strategic calculation. Out of all the virtual business challenge options, I chose the personal finance challenge because financial literacy has always been something personally meaningful to me. Finance is not just a subject that interests me academically. It is something I see as a real tool that can shape opportunities and futures. When exploring the different simulations, personal finance stood out because it connected directly to skills that apply beyond competition. It felt less like running a simulation and more like making real-life decisions, which made every choice feel meaningful. That experience inspired me, a 16-year-old unemployed high schooler, to start taking more interest in my own financial future, because it showed how powerful hands-on learning can be when students are given the chance to actively engage with financial decisions. One of the reasons the Personal Finance Virtual Business Challenge stood out was because each part of the simulation connected to moments in my own life where financial decisions were already starting to feel real. Instead of feeling like a distant topic, the simulation reflected situations I could already see forming around me. The simulation begins with management, health, and finding a job, which set the foundation for everything else. That idea of balancing responsibilities felt very familiar. Between school, DECA, and leadership commitments, time is already something that has to be budgeted carefully. After all, time is money. In the same way that poor time management can make everything else harder, the simulation showed how unstable income can affect every financial decision that follows. Establishing a steady job in the simulation felt similar to building stability in real life. It becomes the base that everything else depends on. From there, the simulation moves into budgeting and saving, which connected strongly to my own interest in financial literacy, while working and developing a financial literacy app. One of the biggest challenges has been figuring out how to make financial concepts feel practical and engaging for students. Going through the budgeting section of the simulation helped show me exactly why that matters. Seeing how quickly money could be spent and how difficult it could be to recover from that reinforced the importance of building strong habits early. It made financial responsibility feel less like a concept and more like a series of everyday decisions. Housing and transportation decisions, like finding an apartment and buying a car, introduced the idea of long-term commitments. This stood out to me because growing up, financial decisions were always discussed in terms of planning ahead, not just thinking about what works now, but what will work later. In the simulation, choosing an apartment or a car wasn't just about picking the best option at the moment. It was about choosing something sustainable. That idea of thinking long term is something that has influenced the way I approach finance, goals, and future plans. The simulation also explores banking and credit, including opening accounts, using online banking, and managing a credit card. These sections felt especially meaningful because credit is something that affects opportunities long before people realize it. Watching a credit score change based on small decisions made it clear how consistent habits shape long-term outcomes. It showed that financial success is usually not the result of one big decision, but of many small ones made over time. As the simulation progresses, it introduces taxes, education, and career advancement, showing how income grows and changes over time. That progression connected closely to my own goals in business and finance because it illustrated how education and career decisions directly influence financial opportunities. It made the ideas of investing in the future feel much more tangible. Finally, the simulation explores investing, including risk versus return, diversification, and retirement planning, before ending with major decisions like buying a home and choosing insurance. These sections showed how financial planning extends far beyond the present moment. Even though retirement and home ownership feel far away now, the simulation demonstrated how early decisions made those future goals possible. What made this experience meaningful was not just learning what these financial concepts were, but seeing how they connected to my own interests and goals. The simulation turned financial literacy from something abstract into something personal, showing how the decisions being made today can shape the opportunities available tomorrow. Because of that, the simulation didn't just change the way I thought about the future. It changed what I'm doing right now. After working through the Personal Finance Virtual Business Challenge, I started taking small but meaningful steps towards building financial independence. Instead of seeing financial responsibility as something far off into the future, it began to feel like something I could start preparing for right now. I submitted my first job application so I could begin earning my own income, and I started setting up my own savings account so I could practice budgeting and saving consistently. I also began exploring the basics of investing and took my first steps into the stock market, applying concepts like risk and return that I had learned through the simulation. Going through these steps made the lessons from the simulation feel more real and more immediate. The ideas that I practiced in the simulation started to feel less like exercises and more like habits I could begin forming. Even simple actions. Sorry. Even simple actions like thinking about how much to save or how much to spend began to feel more intentional because I understood how those decisions could build over time. Individually, these are small steps, but together, they represent something bigger. They represent the beginning of applying what I learned in a real and tangible way. The simulation showed me that financial stability is built through consistent action and thoughtful decision making. And these were my first steps towards putting that into practice. Looking back, the Personal Finance VBC changed the way I think about financial responsibility. I now see it as something that can start at any time with the right foundation. The lessons from the simulation made financial planning feel less intimidating and more approachable. It showed that every decision contributes to a larger picture, and that thoughtful planning creates more opportunities in the future. Thank you again for the opportunity to present today and to share my experience with Knowledge Matters and the Personal Finance Virtual Business Challenge. This experience has not only strengthened my understanding of personal finance, but it has also given me the confidence to start applying these ideas in my own life. Because in the end, laying the foundation isn't about one big moment or one big decision. It happens gradually through small choices that build on each other over time. And thanks to this experience, I've been able to start building that foundation right now. Thank you.